The ground was shaking. The walls were about to fall. But one man stood before Allah as if nothing in this world could touch him. A few years ago in Bali, Indonesia, a powerful moment unfolded inside a mosque, a moment that would silently teach a lesson about faith stronger than any sermon. The believers had gathered for prayer, standing shoulder to shoulder in calm devotion. It was an ordinary prayer like many others, filled with the gentle rhythm of Quranic recitation, and hearts turned toward their Lord. No one expected that within seconds the earth itself would become a test. Without warning, the ground began to shake. What started as a slight tremor quickly turned into violent vibrations. The walls trembled, dust began to fall, and the pillars of the mosque looked as if they could collapse at any moment. The sound of movement, cracking, and fear filled the air. Human instinct took over. Some worshippers looked around in panic. Others stepped back, torn between staying in prayer and running for safety. Fear is natural. It is part of being human. When the earth moves beneath us, we are reminded how fragile we truly are. But at the front of the mosque stood the Imam, calm, composed, and completely immersed in his recitation. His voice did not tremble even though the walls did. His posture did not change though the building shook. He continued to recite the Qur'an with the same focus and serenity as if he were standing in perfect stillness. Behind him, only a few believers remained. Their faces showed fear. Their eyes were wide, but they chose to stay. In that moment, their bodies felt the danger, but their hearts held on to something stronger. This was not a display of recklessness. It was a display of certainty. Certainty that life and death are in the hands of Allah alone. The Imam understood that the one who controls the earth, the sky, and everything in between was the very one he was standing before. When a believer truly internalizes that nothing happens except by Allah's will, fear begins to lose its power. The heart finds a strange peace, even in the middle of chaos. This moment in Bali reminds us that belief is not just words spoken in comfort. True faith is revealed when the world shakes. It is easy to trust Allah when life is stable, when the walls are strong, and when the future feels secure. But when everything becomes uncertain, when control slips from our hands, that is when reliance upon Allah becomes real. The Imam's calmness was not bravery in the worldly sense. It was the tranquility of a heart that knows its Lord. Every one of us faces earthquakes in our lives. Not always in the ground, but in our homes, our health, our wealth, and our relationships. Moments come when everything we depended on begins to shake. In those times, people search desperately for stability, for something to hold on to. But the story of that Imam teaches us that the strongest foundation is not found in walls or structures. It is found in connection with Allah. This is the power of belief. It turns chaos into calm. It turns fear into surrender. It turns a shaking world into a reminder that the only unshakable reality is Allah. When the heart stands firm before Him, the chaos outside cannot destroy the peace within. May Allah grant us hearts that remain steady when everything else trembles, hearts that choose prayer over panic, hearts that find peace not in this world, but in the one who controls the world. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.